Yo, what's up guys? I'm Nuo. And just a few hours ago, Bungie announced in their This Week at Bungie post that the Star Eater Scales exotic was going to be disabled for the Vault of Glass race on Saturday. I had predicted this, so I had a backup build prepared, and this is what I'm going to be showing you today. A lot of the builds you'll find on YouTube are super aggressive playstyle builds, where if you get a double kill with this weapon, it will do this for you, and then Y and Z will happen. But the builds I make on this channel aren't generally about that. So this build is going to be a support hunter build, and it was the build I had originally planned on running in Vault of Glass before the Star Eater Scales exotic was released. Of course, that exotic is now going to be disabled on day one, as Bungie just announced in their This Week at Bungie earlier today, so I have gone back to this build. To start off, we'll be running Bottom Tree Tether, because Golden Gun has its uses, but Bottom Tree Tether is going to be the play. We'll pair that with the exotic Omnioculus, which says you gain a second smoke bomb charge and have damage resistance while invisible. So that's a 50% damage resistance when you're invisible. As soon as you shoot and come out of invis, you lose the resistance though. And then the second part says when you make an ally invisible, they gain damage resistance while invisible and you gain melee energy. So they gain the same resist buff. And you also gain half your smoke bomb back for each ally. So if you throw a smoke bomb down at you and two other clanmates or teammates, you will get your entire smoke bomb back. This should just help you get your team out of sticky situations, but it will also allow you to have the Heart of the Pack buff up almost in the entire raid. Because you're just throwing infinite smoke bombs, basically. You're almost always going to have +3 mobility, +3 recovery, +3 resilience, and a crap ton of handling and reload speed on all of your weapons, which having those buffs is just going to make the experience rating a lot smoother. The second part of this build revolves around generating as much special ammo for your team as possible. Special weapons are going to allow you to take care of all the chunky health enemies. Because of the underleveled nature of the raid, you're going to... it's going to take a lot of damage to take down a lot of these enemies, so the more special ammo you have, the more you can burn. So we're going to be using Special Finisher, because the Tether Super isn't the strongest, so it's going to be nice to use Special Finisher here. You can also throw a smoke bomb on yourself right before you finish her, so you can become invis the entire time when you're finishing, so there's no risk involved. Now we're going to pair this with the classic combat style mods that I've basically used in every build. Of course, Protective Light, this mod is super strong. When your shield breaks, you get a 50% damage reduction for 4 seconds with 1 stack of Charge with Light and 8 seconds with 2 stacks. So that's really strong. We'll be using Blast Radius to get Charged with Light, so we can get a double kill with our Grenade Launcher, or Anarchy, or if we have a Rocket Launcher on, if we get a double kill with that, that's going to charge us with Light. And then taking Charge as well, so any orbs we pick up off the ground will give us 1 stack of Charge with Light. For our fourth mod, we'll be using Powerful Friends for the +20 mobility, as well as, because this is a support build, when we pick up an orb or get a double kill with our Grenade Launcher, it will charge our allies, so if they're maybe not using the best Charge with Light build, we can get them charged up and just be a generally supportive person. And lastly, we'll be using extra reserves to help with our ammo economy, because we don't want to be wasting all of our stacks of Charge with Light just on Protective Light. You know, it's nice to always have Protective Light up whenever you need it, but you're wasting all that time when you have, if you're not taking damage, you're wasting those stacks, so you might as well put them to use. So every once in a while, we'll generate some special ammo when we get kills with either our grenade or our Void Grenade Launcher. For the other perks on my armor that aren't the Charge with Light mods, I've got double Grenade Launcher ammo finder. You can always switch that out depending on if I change my weapons. Grenade Launcher loader, Overload SMG to help deal with the overload Minotaurs we know are going to be in the raid. On my chest, I have Concussive Dampener. In a perfect world, I wouldn't have an arc resistance mod here. I'd have either a sniper resist or another Concussive Dampener, but I need to get that +20 mobility from Powerful Friends, so you do what you can do. I've got double Grenade Launcher Scavenger on my boots, and then aside from Special Finisher, I have Perpetuation on my class item to help me with my dodge cooldown. As for weapons, I already mentioned I'm using the Orwing's Maul with blinding grenades, as well as Field Prep and Autoloading Holster. And then for my primary, I plan on using the Multimac CCX. The reason I'm using the Multimac is because, one, Kill Clip is a really good perk in PvE, in my opinion, on an SMG, where you're pretty much always emptying a clip, and I pretty much always have Kill Clip up. But it's also because I'm running 80 mobility, and because both of my weapons are lightweight frames, they give that hidden plus 20 mobility. So I actually have a hidden 100 mobility here, which means I'm getting my maximum dodge cooldown. So that's a neat little trick I've done. But I have other weapons like the Sacred Providence and Night Watch, if I need to switch to a more long-range weapon, which might happen. And then of course we have Anarchy as our heavy. There are other weapons I could switch this to, because I have my exotic slot free. I could go Black Talon, which is also really strong. Deathbringer for DPS phases. I've got Lament, Xenophage, Royal Entry, and then Worldline for jumping puzzles. For stats, I already mentioned I'm running 80 mobility, which actually gives me a hidden 100 mobility. So I would try to get your mobility as high as possible. My recovery is at 90, which I optimally would have this at 100, but it doesn't matter too much because I will have Heart of the Pack on so often that I will almost always actually have 100 recovery. And then I spec into 100 discipline because Night Stalker grenades last twice as long, which is really strong, and they can put out serious damage. I went with 3 intellect, which is kind of the sweet spot if you don't want to invest into intellect. I wouldn't go anything below 3, but if you're not planning on investing into it, I wouldn't go any higher than 3. It's kind of like the spot where before you start hitting diminishing returns. And then strength I didn't worry about because I'm running tier 100 mobility basically, so I'm pretty much always going to have my melee up with Gambler's Dodge. All in all, this build's all about supporting your allies, giving them Heart of the Pack as much as possible, invising them in and out of tricky situations, as well as making as much special ammo for your team as you can between Special Finisher and the Extra Reserves charge with Light Mod. Like I said, I may have to switch weapons up depending on the encounter. I know this is not going to be a great build for taking down oracles, so I may need to switch that. And then for DPS, my plan is to go to Deathbringer. And I assume we'll have a bubble, so I don't need to worry about Argent Ordnance mods or anything like that. And I also assume we're going to have a Luna Well, so I don't really need to worry about loaders. But that's a quick swap I can make. Of course, I would never forget to show my transmog off, so here's that if you're interested. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to try to get my Warlock build up, which is my backup character. So I'm going to try to get that build uploaded later today or tomorrow. And then I'm also going to try to get as many more builds. I have at least 3 or 4 builds I've written out on a spreadsheet or notes or whatever. I really want to get those uploaded. We'll see what I can do. They may all be condensed into one video. I'm not sure, but stay tuned. I've already uploaded my Titan build, so that was uploaded yesterday, and then I uploaded my Stasis Hunter with Feast of Light build that is getting disabled. But if you still want to give that a watch, it would be much appreciated. That video did very well. But thank you guys so much for watching, and have a good one.